All right, be quiet. All right, shalom, shalom. We're the real Hebrew Israelites coming day in and day out to prophesy the downfall of Babylon the Great, which is America. First off and foremost, all praises, honor, and glory be unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Makar Kadash. Double honors to the other apostles of Great Millstone and salutations to the elect, wherever you may be. Brother Shapaya from GMS Chicago, coming at you again with another quick lesson through the Spirit. Empower Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Today's lesson is, hey, like the vibe the elders have been pushing out, back to the basics. And I just want to touch on this Italian band, all right, which, let's get it. Let's get it. Acts, wait, 10:1. All right, I'm going to read it. It says, there was a certain man of Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion, all right, of the band called the Italian band. So just like back then, you had Jake, that was a part of the military system, and things of that nature. You have that today. So there's no difference. All right, so let's go get that. Let's get the Greek word for, in fact, let's get centurion, a officer in the Roman army. Now, where's Rome based at? Italy. All right, so he was just part of one of the legions, if you will. All right, one of the armies of Rome. Okay, so let's get banned. All right, there you go. A military cohort. All right, a 10th part of a legion. Right, and that's crazy. I didn't know I was going to say that. The Spirit just told me to look it up. Now, Italian. All right, belonging to Italia. All right, which is Italy, basically, which is the landmass that Rome sits on. Now, let me bring you to this. All right, this is one of my favorite go-tos. Now, this is the book of Hebrews. All right, the book of Hebrews that was written to Hebrew Israelites. Right. Now, when you go to the 13th chapter and you go to the last verse. All right, mind you, the title of this book is Hebrews. Okay, so I'm gonna go straight to 24. Salute all them that have ruled over you and all the saints. They of Italy salute you. They of Italy salute you. Matter of fact, let's get this in the blue letter. See, guys, people will see Italian and white man, right? When you go back to that deep history, that was us back there. All right? Even when you go into the deep heritage of Italy today, or the Sicilians, when you go into the food culture and things of that nature, you know that was Jake during that time. All right? Where was that? Hebrews 13th chapter. They of Italy, and it's going to say this in Italia. All right? The peninsula between the Alps and the Strait of Messina. All right? So Italy, you had all right? You had all this, man. And Jake, listen, when you go back, Jake was all up and through here. All right? Jake was all up and through here. Greece, Turkey, all right, because we will have Israel right here. But Jake, hey, you got Cyprus right there. Jake, Istanbul. Hey, Jake was all through here, man. All through this, all through here. And of course, there's in France, Spain, Rome. That's more history. But I'm just dealing with the time of Paul. Hey, they was basically over here, man. The Israelite foreigners, man. Okay. So just because you see the word, the word. Let me see. Sorry, I had to put it this way. Let me know that. Shalakia. Hold on. Shalakia, brothers. All right. Now there's different pictures around, going into, certain blacks of Italy. All right. And things of that nature. I mean, you could do that history on your own. But we know Jake during the time of Paul, even during the time of Yahweh Shai, was, in those lands. All right. Now, you gotta understand when Jake was getting Hellenized, and you can find that in First Maccabee. Let me see. Yep. First Maccabees 1:41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that they should be one people, and every one should leave his laws, so that all heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. All right, and you know what? You can read more into this. You can go all the way down to verse 51, or verse 52, how they forsook their own laws, all right? And that, how Israelites who wanted to keep the law of Yahweh Shem Shai had to flee because they was getting killed, all right? So a lot of Israelites was Hellenized. And even before this time, you had Israelites that just wanted to be like the other nations. Even when we came out of Egypt, Jake wanted to be like the Egyptians, all right? And then when you go into these times, now, all right, present day, I'm speaking of the time we're living in now, you're going to have Israelites look like every other nation due to us being spread abroad, man. All these land masses we planted our seed. So over time, we will look like the other nations. Simply put, matter of fact, I'll give you one better. Check this out, man. Salakia. Let me see. Now Joseph looked like an Israelite. He was an Israelite. But guess what? Let's read this. Genesis 42:7. And Joseph saw his brethren, and he knew them, but made himself strange unto them, and spake roughly unto them. And he said unto them, Whence come ye? And they said, From the land of Canaan, to buy food. And Joseph knew his brethren, but they knew not him. Because you gotta understand, when Pharaoh, matter of fact, I could go back. Pharaoh, let's see, let me get this. All right, Genesis 41:42. And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand and put it on Joseph's hand and arrayed him in vestures of fine linen and put a gold chain about his neck. All right, so he was in Egyptian garbs. All right, you think Joseph just, hey, let me get some Israelite clothing? No, he was in Egypt. All right, and it said he made himself strange. Matter of fact, let me get that again. Because his brothers didn't know. Hey, his brothers thought he was a regular Egyptian. All right. Matter of fact, let me get that. That's Genesis 42:7. Genesis 42:7. Let's get that. Genesis 42:7. Let's see what word they got for strange. Okay. To recognize the knowledge, no respect, disregard, to be recognized. All right, so this will actually will be because you got to actually put it into the proper contents. All right, and it will be right here: to act, to treat foreign or strange, disguise. Okay, misconstrue. All right, to act as alien, to disguise oneself. So he said he made himself strange unto them. So, of course, he probably changed his voice, things of that nature. And then this tells you, all right, how, because I believe it was Genesis 11, the languages got split and divided, but it shows you how intelligent Israelites were. Joseph knew the Egyptian language and he knew the Hebrew language, and vice versa, all right? Because Abraham was able to speak to Pharaoh and things of that nature. Okay? So, hey, we knew how to communicate, man. But nonetheless, he disguised himself. Not only his voice, but the way he looked. All right? He looked like an Egyptian. Matter of fact, when Joseph died, all right, other Hamites said, what's this great... matter of fact, let me get it. All right? Because we blended amongst the people. How much more in today's time? All right. Genesis 15:11. And when the inhabitants of the land, the Canaanites, saw the mourning in the floor of Atad, they said, This is a grievous mourning to the Egyptians. Wherefore the name of it was called Abel Mitzrayim, all right, which is beyond Jordan. All right. So, hey, to the Canaanites, when they was crying over Joseph, hey, all these people look like Egyptians, man. They even the Israelites amongst the Egyptians, all right, they blended amongst them, man. Okay. Just like you have Jake today blending amongst the other heathen nations. That don't mean they're heathens. That just mean they look like the heathens, all right? Or they're keeping customs of the heathens. Matter of fact, you read Ephesians, the 2nd chapter, it says we were all Gentiles in the past, man. All right? We are all foreigners to this day, man. We had to cleave into him. We had to cleave into the skirt of him that is a Jew. So we had to be taught our ways again. All right, the Lord had to put that spirit back down here, man. All right, see, and this is the same thing that was going on in Israel, all right, when the Gentiles started to come in. All right, it was prophesied that they would be jealous of. Matter of fact, let's get that. right, here it go. Deuteronomy 32 and 21. They have moved me to jealousy with that which is not a power. Because what happened? Israel was going off to these false gods, which they're doing today. All right? They have provoked me to anger with their vanities. I will move them to jealousy with those that are not a people, and I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation. Now, who's that foolish nation? Jake. Matter of fact, because it says them that is not a people. This is the wild olive branch. That don't mean that it's not an olive branch. It's just a wild olive branch, man. This, how do you say, the same biological makeup, okay? It's just wild. When a nigga go off, he's wild, man. All right? It says, Jeremiah 2 and 21, I have planted thee a noble vine, wholly a right seed. How art thou turned into a degenerate plant, unto a strange vine unto me? All right? Because when you start to take on these customs of the other nations, you become them. You become heathenistic. Matter of fact, First Corinthians 12 and 2, ye know that ye were Gentiles carried away by these dumb idols, even as you were led. There you go. That's how we became heathens, because we left the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and we became like the other nations. Whether you wanted to be, because you had, I believe, if I may be saying it wrong, but you had Greeks, right, which, you know, they didn't know they were Israelites. Then you had Grecians, which I believe they knew they was Israelites, and they kept the laws. Right? I could be Salakia, I could be tongue twisting that and mixing it up, but nonetheless, the Greeks were Israelites, man. All right. And I'm talking about the Greeks as far as the scriptures. Not all the Greeks, but you had Israelites, right, who were Hellenized, pretty much, that took on the customs, like Timothy's father. All right, when you go into Timothy's father, all right, Timothy's mother and his grandmother, they knew they were Israelites. And to know you're an Israelite, you're going to keep the law. And according to the law, our women can't be with other men of other nations. So she knew that Timothy's father was an Israelite. He was just keeping Greek customs. All right? Hey, when Timothy came into the temple, they thought he was a heathen, and he wasn't. Okay? That's why they was trying to get at Paul. Okay? And Paul had his dispensation unto the Gentiles, and Peter unto the circumcised, man, to the actual Jews. Right? But it was the same nation. Are they Israelites? So am I. Are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they the seed of Abraham? So am I. All right? That's why, hey, matter of fact, let me get this. I mean, this is prophesied. This is very simple. It's not that hard to understand. It's not that hard to believe. But if the Spirit ain't working with you, the Spirit ain't working with you, man. It's Isaiah 11 and 10. In that day there should be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. Till it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious. All right? It says, and his rest shall be glorious. So who are the Gentiles looking for? Yahushua, man. You understand, we were all Gentiles, man. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people. This is what the Lord is getting ready to do. All right, Yahushua is that light. All right, us Israelites that used to be Gentiles, we grabbed on unto that light. All right, and the Lord, and if we're of the elect, this is what the Lord's getting ready to do, to recover the remnant of his people. His people. Go read Matthew 1 and 21. He shall save his people. All right, not the whole fucking world. All right, Orchamany, not that. He's coming to save the cosmos. All right, which should be left from Assyria, from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and he shall assemble the outcast of Israel. So all these people from these different lands were the outcast of Israel. They were just scattered abroad, simply put, and gathered together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. Hey, have we not been scattered to the four corners of the earth? Matter of fact, let's get that. Oh no, it's James. Salakia. Here we go. James 1:1. James, a servant of Yahweh and of the Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. There you go. We're scattered abroad. The outcast of Israel, which the Lord is coming to save. All right? Sounds just like Acts the 2nd chapter when you had this great miracle. The Holy Spirit fell upon them and they started to speak in different tongues. All right? And matter of fact, Acts 2:5, and there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men, and just like we read in Acts, the 10th chapter, Cornelius being devout, right? Out of every nation under heaven. Now, when this was noised abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded because they had that every man heard them speak in his own language, because everybody didn't necessarily speak Hebrew. They knew they were Israelites. They came to the Pentecost, but they spoke a different language. And this is how a lot of things started. And that's why Paul was set up to do what he did, because not necessarily everybody spoke Latin and Greek. All right, Paul knew the three prominent languages: Greek, Latin, all right, and Hebrew. That's why Yahweh Shai had different inscriptions above him when he was dying on the cross. Okay, it says, and they were amazed and marveled, saying one to another, "Behold, are not all these which speak Galileans?" All right, and where's Galilee at? Okay, and how hear every man in his own tongue where he was born? Parthia, Medes, Elamites, and dwellers in Mesopotamia, and in Judea, and Cappadocia, and Pontus, and Asia, and Phrygia, and Pamphylia, and Egypt, and in parts of Libya, about Cyrene, and strangers of Rome, Jews and proselytes, Cretes and Arabians. We do all hear them speak in their own tongues the wonderful works of Yahweh. These were Israelites dwelling in those different countries. So imagine now. So to say a guy from West Africa is not an Israelite, you going fucking off. You try the spirits by the spirits. You have niggas that look like Amalekites and are Israelites. Israel, hey, for this word to be true, for us to be the majority, for us to be numbered as the sands of the sea, and they say it's between 7 billion and 9 billion people on this planet Earth. That means the mass majority of people on Earth are Israelites, man. Okay? But we look like different nations. So they get tied into, they're Chinese. Even though you got actual Moabites, you got a good proportion of Moab that happen to be Israelites. That's Isaiah 16:4. Same with Ammon. Same thing with Ham. Hey, listen, Jake liked those Philistine women. All right? Or the woman from Ham. You see what happened to Solomon and the Egyptian woman? So imagine how far our seed has actually gone, man. And what really makes us a Gentile is when we're outside the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. It never had nothing to do with skin color. You think back then during Paul times, niggas was black as hell, but they was dressing like other nations. That's what was throwing them off. And they hated them niggas. All right? The Jews hated the Gentiles, man. That's why the Lord said he was going to provoke them to jealousy. Because the word came to y'all first, and y'all rejected the head cornerstone, man. Now, not all of them. Some got it, some understood, which are, they're a part of the elect. But the mass majority of Israel just didn't understand. So how much more this time going around? We were all, I'll end it on the Ephesians. Matter of fact, I'm going to read Ephesians, but I'll end it on something else. Ephesians 2:2, wherein in times past ye walked according to the course of this world. Hold on. According to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that is now working in the children of obedience, which that's good because we was going off. Us walking according to the course of this world means we're outside Yahweh Shem Shai. All right. But what is the first chapter? No, it's Ephesians 2. There we go. In 11. Wherefore remember that ye being in times past Gentiles in the flesh, who were called uncircumcised by that which is called circumcision in the flesh made by hands. All right. Go back to that first Maccabees. Hey, we stopped doing that, right? Some of us. All right. At that time you were without Mashiach, being alienated, strangers, from the commonwealth of Israel, and strangers from the covenant of promise, having no hope and without Yahweh in this world. Now, the commonwealth of Israel, that deals with the law, statutes, and commandments. If you was never a part of that, you can't be a stranger from it. Because it has nothing to deal with you. It's like an inheritance. If you outside the inheritance, it has nothing to do with you. But if you are a part of the inheritance and you leave off like the prodigal son, you still come back into that which is righteously and rightfully yours. Okay? And I'll end it with this, man. And this is a heavy cut. In 2nd Maccabee, man. Not 2nd Maccabee, 2nd Esdras. Now check this out. This is 2nd Esdras 2:5. As for me, O Father, I call upon thee for a witness over the mother of these children, which would not keep my covenant, all right, you Israelites, that thou bring them to confusion and their mother, to spoil, that they may be no offsprings of them. Let them be scattered amongst the heathen. Let their names be put out of the earth, for they have despised my covenant. And that's what happened to Israel, man. Now, when you jump to 24, it says, no, not 24, where is it at? 34. It says, I, Esdras, received the charge of the Lord upon Mount Oreb, that I should go unto Israel. But when I came unto them, they set me at naught and despised the commandment of the Lord, which they did. And therefore I say unto you, O ye heathen, that hear and understand, look for your shepherd. He should give you everlasting rest, for his hand, he is nigh at hand, that shall come at the end of the world. Right? The Lord called us heathens because what? We didn't want to keep the covenant. But yet these same heathens have a shepherd. They have a savior who should come at the end of the world, which is Yahweh Shai. All right? O you heathen that hear and understand, look for your shepherd. And that's going to be the elect that's going to look for their shepherd, man. It says he should give them everlasting rest. What did we read in 11? All right? Where is that? In 10, it says, and his rest shall be glorious. there you go. So with that, hey, I pray this was edifying. All right, like I said, Italian band. Hey, listen, you had Jake in Roman armies. There's history on that. There's a book on that. I forget the name of the book. There's an actual book on that, and all these Israelites had Greek names. Okay, so you wouldn't be able to differentiate, if I'm saying that word correctly, who was actually Israelites and who was actually Romans. All right. Because even after the 12 feathers went down, hey, Jake came up, all right, in the, what do you call it, the Holy Roman Empire, man. Jake was around during that time, okay? So don't get misconstrued about that Italian band. And then you read Hebrews, the book is called Hebrews, and it says, salute all them that's of Italy, which tell you we're all in all those places, all right? Matter of fact, I'll end it like that. I ended on this one. This is one of my favorite ones. All right. This is Acts 15-23. And they wrote letters by them after this manner. The apostles and the elders and brethren send greetings unto the brethren which are of the Gentiles in Antioch and Syria and Cilicia. All right. Now the Lord said what? Hey, don't call no man your brother, sister, mother, none of that if they ain't doing the will of the Lord. So obviously, these brethren of the Gentiles was doing the will of the Lord. And the only way you can do the will of the Lord is you have to be an Israelite. You got to have that faith of Abraham. All right, if you got that faith, you a seed of Abraham, man. Isaac and Jacob. All right. So with that, all praises, honor, and glory be unto Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem Kadash. Double honors to thee, elder apostles, the great millstone, and salutations to the elect, wherever you may be. Hey, and this Acts, the 15th chapter, is very good. Very good, man. Damn, now I'm looking over it. Acts 15 is a very good chapter, man. All right, with that, shalom.